So I'm going to start off the video with how to wheelie a dirt bike with a clutch. It's very simple. You just want to, so it's very simple to wheelie a dirt bike with a clutch. You just want to pull in the clutch, give it throttle, and then just dump it. What that'll do is that'll pop up your front tire, and then you use the throttle to control while you're in the air. Now, if you haven't started wheeling yet, I would recommend you start wheeling with your feet on the ground. And also I would recommend that you try it out on a small bike first rather than like a 250 or 450. Even like a YZ85 or something like that. That's just a lot of power for a beginner. So I'd start off by get it, dump it, throttle. Right now I'm just dragging my feet, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find that balance point, and I'm trying to just, that balance point is where you don't have to give it throttle and you don't have to brake to keep the wheelie up. And that balance point is where you want to be. So once you do that a lot with your feet down, try and do it with just one foot. Now your bike's going to want to turn, but that's okay, because that's how people do circle wheelies. So you just keep practicing 2 feet, then 1 feet, and just keep taking away feet. Okay, so that's how you wheelie with the dirt bike with the clutch. You just pop it, and then practice with your feet, taking them off. And then once you get pretty good, you can start off with 1 foot and then just bring it up. And then you can start off with no feet and just continue. And I'll teach you guys how to brake after I teach you how to wheelie a dirt bike without a clutch. Basically, if you have a dirt bike that does not have a clutch, you can still wheelie. It's just a little bit more difficult. What you do is you just pull up on the handlebars really hard. And you practice. Try to get your front tire off the ground. And give it throttle in sync with pulling up. You just practice like that. Not too much throttle, not too much pull. You gotta find that even amount to where it's nice and smooth. It's all about rhythm and smoothness. So what you do, get a low gear, like first gear. Practice. You always want to start out, don't start out wheeling in like 4th gear if you could do that. But so you just want to pull and throttle at the same time. Very simple. As you can tell, I didn't pull up like really hard. I didn't give it a lot of power. I did both in sync, very smooth, and it came out very nice. But braking, this will be the last point that I teach you guys. With braking in the air, it's very simple. If you're braking without a dirt bike with a clutch, all you gotta do is figure out what time you gotta brake. Don't brake if you're like this. Only brake if you're like, if you're going to fall back. And I really recommend, besides having 2 feet off, if you have 1 foot off, make it be your shifter foot and not your brake foot. Try to always have a foot over that brake. Now, when you first start out, it's going to be a little scary, so don't stress out braking every time. Just stress having your foot on the brake. That'll get you comfortable with your foot placement and all that good stuff. When you brake, it's when, so you have your power point, your balance point, which is where you don't need to brake or gas. It's where you're basically just coasting in a wheelie. And then you have your brake point. So you have 3 points of a wheelie. Your brake point is going to be after your balance point, and you're going to start feeling it. You're going to know on your bike when it's time to brake. And on a bike that doesn't have a clutch, you just don't jam it in really tight. You're gonna have enough time, okay? You're gonna have a little bit of, every brake is like this. The first a little bit of your brake isn't anything, so just have that down a little bit already in the wheelie, and then when the brake is engaging, you just like this is all I do in the air, or in the wheelie, is I just move it around like this. Not hard, very smooth. It's all smooth and rhythm. That's all wheelie is and riding is. If you're wheeling with a clutch, same thing actually. You don't always have to use the clutch when you wheelie. You could just do this, except at the point where you're barely moving in a wheelie, like you're going so slow you're almost stopped and you're in the braking point of your wheelie, that's when you pull in the clutch, hit the brake. You don't have to pull in the clutch a lot, just enough where it's engaged like a little bit. It'll take some time to learn. So you pull in the clutch, tap the brake, and as you're coming down into the power point of your wheelie again, let it go of the clutch and throttle at the same time, like you're starting a dirt bike again. I'll try and demonstrate right now. So I'm just wheeling right now, and then this will be the point where I use the clutch. It might have been kind of hard to see, but when I pull in the clutch is when I brake, and then I just kind of go back into it real smooth. Don't stress about braking with the clutch just yet if you're just beginning, because it's a thing for when you're more experienced. You will eventually learn it. I learned it by myself, actually. I didn't even look up a video on it. I also have a video. If you are on a automatic bike and you're looking to get a manual bike, I have a video of how to ride a manual bike and all the basics. Very simple. I've gotten good feedback, so it should be a good video for most people. But that'll be it for this video. Hope this helped you out a lot. Comment down below recommendations of what you guys want to learn on these bikes, little tricks and stuff. If I could do it, we'll make a video about it. Peace.